We all know that the Pokemon Company's aim is to turn us all into crazed completionists. I mean, they're pretty upfront about it when they have the tagline of the series being, "Gotta catch 'em all." But we can't be influenced by a slogan, can we? We're way, way smarter than that. So why do we feel the need to catch one last legendary? Or find at least one shiny? Well, psychology studies have found that it's because in our heads, we all have a cookie monster controlling us. I've been playing Pokemon again recently and I've completed the game, I've got a great team, and I've caught all my favourites. However, I kept coming back to the game and would play it late into the night. I couldn't work out why I was wandering around Dusty Bowl for hours and hours on end. And then I realised it was those goddamn shinies. I kept seeing people on Reddit posting when they got a new shiny. I remember thinking, they look really cool. I'm going to get one of them. So hours and hours later, without even the sniff of seeing a shiny, I looked up the chances of actually catching one. 1 in 4,096. What? I've not even caught anywhere near 4,000 Pokemon, so no bloody wonder I haven't seen a shiny. And I know that's not how it works exactly, but still, the odds of 4,000 to 1 is freaking high. So why, knowing that I won't catch one, and with many other games for me to play at the moment, why do I keep coming back to the game just to catch a slightly different coloured Pokemon? So it turns out it's because of two things: elusiveness and authenticity. Authenticity is the one that's Cookie Monster's fault, but let's start with elusiveness. The psychology of elusiveness is something that the Pokemon games have become experts at over the years. They're all based on the hunter-gatherer need in us to find, hunt, gather, and hoard things, which are basic but very, very powerful instincts. So let's look at elusiveness first. These tricks are simple ways that they restrict us getting things to make us want them more. Artificially limited availability relates to putting timed restrictions on something, like a big countdown where the closer it gets, the more pressure there is. The Zero Aura event is an example of this. We had a limited time to defeat Zero Aura in the max raid, then we'd get that shiny Zero Aura. Turn up a minute late and sorry, never gonna get that shiny Zero Aura. It's the thrill of the chase to collecting in a digital world through such limited time releases that require commitment and skill. Location-based availability is about being able to only catch grass types in grass areas, etc. It's a really basic way of making us feel that we have some power over what we collect. Oh, of course, if I hang around in this grass long enough, I'll stumble across a high-level Venusaur. But you won't, will you? However, what's really interesting is that if you merge location and time-based availability restrictions, you get Pokemon Go and this kind of madness.
Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god! What is happening? Oh, there it is!
So these first two psychological collecting techniques don't seem like much, but they are incredibly powerful. That is why the Pokemon Company made them the focus of their biggest ever game in Pokemon Go, and it worked beautifully to turn the world insane. You didn't really get these next two included in it. So social-based availability is when you have to interact with other players to get something, which is another hook Pokemon use to the full extent possible. For some example, in the games in the past, some Pokemon will only evolve once traded with another player. Some need to be holding a rare item while being traded to evolve, and in one instance, you have to have two specific Pokemon at the same time in order for them to evolve while trading. This difficulty in getting something via trading makes Pokemon desirable because of the social element they are given much more meaning. One study found that virtual items are often seen as gifts with increased meaning, and some are even seen as irreplaceable. So finally, skill-based availability is about being good enough to get the thing in the first place. While it may not seem like getting a shiny is a good example of this, the more Pokemon of that type you catch, the slightly better your chances are of catching a shiny of that type. As well as this, when you do come across one, you need to have the right combination of fighters and items to weaken the shiny and catch it. It gives you a confidence boost that you are good enough to get that elusive collectible. I know time, location, interaction, and skill restrictions are nothing new to gamers. They come across in a lot of games. But I don't think people realise how powerful they are when combined and weaved so well into one game to drive us to catch one more Pokemon before the time runs out, or before you leave this location, or when your friend's just about to go online, and finally when you've reached just the right level to get something. So when you do overcome these restrictions and you do catch something or the thing that you want, you feel a sense of accomplishment. This gives you the thrill of the hunt feeling, which is a very caveman behaviour of, I hunted for the thing, I caught the thing, yay! But our brain sometimes is that simple, so it really does work. Okay, so now we know why we feel satisfied when you hear that Pokeball sound. But why, when I've completed the game, do I keep coming back to catch that fricking shiny specifically? This is because of the psychology of authenticity and the cookie monster inside of me. If we're shown 100 identical things, but then we're shown that one of them is slightly different, it makes it feel special and collectible. Shinies are a great example of this. You can take the most boring Pokemon you've caught and seen a million times, but as soon as you switch the colours around, something inside of you screams, oh, now I have to have that interesting Pokemon. All they've done is point out that this copy is slightly different, and our brains want it. The reason for this is linked to a study in 1975 by researchers Warshall, Lee and Adderwall using cookies that found out that scarcity affects human perceptions of value. So what they did is they got 2 identical jars. They filled one jar with 10 cookies and the other jar contained just 2. Which cookies would people value more? Which jar? Though the cookies and the jars were identical, participants valued the ones in the near-empty jar more highly. The fact that there was less of them somehow made people feel that they were more valuable. It's something called the scarcity heuristic. Marketers, and in this case with Pokemon, game designers, do their best to trigger cognitive quirks like this, to influence behaviour. They know that context matters just as much as the item itself, so that when we see less of something, the cookie monster in our head takes control and makes us reach for the empty jar, because those are clearly the tastiest cookies! Just showing us that this Pokemon is rare and there are less of them around makes us think it's more valuable, even if it isn't. The study found out that perception, presentation, and basically marketing are everything. It's all about the way shinies are presented to us. Even if they have crap stats, and we already have 100 of them, you still want them, don't you? So the next time you find yourself up at 2 a.m. wandering around Dusty Bowl and you're not really sure why, have a good think about if you really want to be doing this, or have the Pokemon Company made you believe that there is a lot more value in catching that elusive shiny than there actually is. Maybe just go and eat that last cookie instead.